Hey guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing a fall wreath idea with you featuring the little red pickup truck that I picked up from Dollar General. Now this little wreath was really fun to put together, so I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, what supplies I used, and so let's get crafting. Okay, here are the supplies I'm using. The little metal red truck is from Dollar General. I have a country burlap wreath. I have some ribbon. I just pulled these out of my stash, so I'll clarify in the video. I have some mesh from Hobby Lobby, and I also have some raffia. Now, I like to make these rustic burlap wreaths, and I do have a video tutorial I will link up in the card to show you exactly how I create these so that they do have frayed edges. Okay, starting with my deco mesh, I roll both of them out at one time. This seems to be easier for me, and I'm just cutting off that edge of when you just open a roll of burlap, it's kind of ratty on the edges. So now I'm going to cut these burlap at 10 inches and just showing you here another cut so that you can get an idea. I have this little mat and I have a shelf liner underneath it that helps hold my deco mesh or my mat in place so it doesn't move. Here are the 2.5-inch ribbons I'm using. This denim one is from Sam's Club many years ago. This plaid one is from Sam's Club as well, but I picked that one up this year, 2018. So now I'm just showing you here how I finish my ribbons. You don't have to do this, it's just a personal choice. And I fold the ribbon and fold it in half again, and then I cut it at an angle so it gives the little finished V cut on the end. It's just a personal preference. I started by cutting my ribbons 12 inches in length and then I V cut them. Okay, I started to put my mesh on there, but then I thought it would be a good idea to attach the sign. So I'm just looking here how the truck is made and how I think best would be able to attach this sign to my wreath. So I could use that metal, it does come with a little metal hanger, but I've decided to drill 2 holes in the metal truck. It's very thin metal, and so I have my electric drill here. I use a drill bit that I know is good for materials like this, like a little metal, and this electric drill is a staple that I have, one of my tools that I have in my crafting craft room. So what I'm showing you here is once you drill through this little metal, it does leave some little sharp edges, so I have a little sanding tool here that I'm just sanding off any of those little sharp edges. Okay, to attach the truck to the wreath, I have 2 pieces of black wire, one for each of the holes that I drilled in the pickup truck. So now I am just attaching the wire to the frame, and then I am going to just twist that one time, and then I will thread both of the wires through one of the holes on each side of the pickup truck. So I have one on one side, and then I will put one on the other side, and then I'm going to share how I finish off the wire to give it a decorative edge. Okay, I'm just sharing you here my very favorite tip for finishing off these little wire edges. I have just the end of a paintbrush. You can use a dowel, a pencil, anything that is small and round, because that will be the size of your wire. And then I just wrap it around the paintbrush, and then I have my needle nose pliers, and then I just kind of turn the end of the wire over so that it doesn't scratch. And so just showing you here, I'm just wrapping it around that paintbrush, bending over those little edges. Then I will do the other side. Just showing you here my little wire, how I like to finish it off. It is absolutely my favorite way to finish off wire on signs. Now I will add my mesh, and my mesh is cut at 10 inches and the mesh itself is 10 inches. So I'm just rolling it up in a tube or a spiral. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm just layering those on top of each other, and then I'm going to take a chenille stem, and I like to use the size where the chenille stem is cut in half because I'm going to be putting some ribbon in there, so I want it to be long enough so I can untwist this burlap and put my ribbon in there. And then this is what it looks like just with the deco mesh on there. I have 6 little bunches of the red and burlap as well as the other little 10-inch mesh. So now I'm going to share how I decided to put the ribbons on. I have 2 different bundles of ribbon. I have the burlap with the checkered and this 1.5-inch window pane and some raffia. And then the other one I have some fall pumpkin, some burlap, and some red chevron ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I am just showing you here to alternate every other one. And then the one that I'm not putting in with the mesh, I'm going to go ahead and add an additional chenille stem. And then this is the one that has the denim with the plaid ribbon. And then I will include a raffia and window pane. So what I do with these ribbons is I lay them on top of each other, fold them in half, scrunch them in the middle, and then that is what I attach to the extra chenille stem in there. So I'm just attaching my denim and plaid ribbon, twisting that. And then I have a raffia bow and that window pane ribbon. That window pane ribbon I cut at 11 inches. And so then now I'm just going to untwist that and twist these 2 in there. You could do it all together, but I just decided how to do that. And then the chenille stem is just a little too long, so I use my wire cutters to cut off any excess, and then my needle nose pliers to turn it, kind of bend it down so that wire doesn't poke. Okay, for my second set of ribbons, now this is what I'm going to include in the deco mesh little bundle. I have a 1.5-inch pumpkin that came from Hobby Lobby, and then the burlap I had in my stash. And I also cut an 11-inch ribbon, just 11 inches from that chevron from Dollar Tree. So what I'm doing with these ribbons is I'm just making a loop, and that loop is about 5 inches, and then I hold one ribbon one way, one ribbon the other way, just kind of spread out those tails just like that. And then I have this 11-inch piece of chevron ribbon that's from the Dollar Tree, and then I just scrunch it there in the middle, and then that is the little bundle that I am going to put in with my deco mesh. Now I always make sure that my tails are turned the right way. So for the putting it in the little chenille stem inside that little deco mesh, I just go ahead and untwist it, put all of that in there. I usually hold it with my thumb. The more you do this, the more you figure out little tricks that help yourself. Okay, when I'm designing my wreaths, I like to have them flat so I could put my ribbons and my mesh and that kind of stuff on. And then I put it on my little tabletop easel and kind of look at it, make sure I don't have any holes. Well, there was a spot up at the top that had a little hole, so I decided to add a big old raffia bow. So, you know, I just added raffia to the top. I think it really ties in everything, all the country, fall, just goodness. Anyway, I just love how this wreath turned out, and I hope you did too. If you do, please give me a big old thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. I love to share crafty ideas like this with a whole lot of country charm. Anyway, this is definitely my style. So thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you soon, and you all have a very blessed day.